Hi, so let's do a quick market analysis for the October expiry. So we are going to discuss the stocks in an alphabetical order, and as usual, this video is for educational purpose and not for your trading and investment related. So please consult your financial advisor before you do any such thing. So let's start with Aarti. So basically, there has been some negative news flow in the chemical sector in general, and as a result of which, there are a lot of headwinds right now in all the chemical sector stocks like Aarti, Deepak Nitrite, SRF, Navin Fluorine. But in general, I can see that Aarti gave us a very good breakout, and it was actually going towards the levels of 1200, and then actually this downfall came. But at least the good thing is Aarti has been able to maintain this level of 1000. So as long as it's not giving a closing below the levels of 950, there is nothing to worry. But if that happens, then I think going forward it can even correct towards the levels of 800. This About India is also more in a box. 24,000 was a good target from a technical perspective, and from there the sell-off came, and you can see this consolidation, and this is exactly the same thing you see in Aarti. And so going forward, if it is not able to hold interesting levels, then theoretically it can correct more, and correct more in the sense Aarti can correct more if it's not able to hold the levels of 950 on a closing basis. ABFRL, even if there was a good sell-off, still ABFRL is able to maintain this level of 250. Going forward, I think we should be more interested in seeing if there is a strong green candle coming, something of a structure like this, or something like this, or even like this would be a good confirmation that this is going to reverse from here. ACC actually, the cement sector has not been working since last few weeks, and this is the reason for why. So going forward, I think 2400, 2200, this will act like a box. Adani Enterprise as well as Adani Ports is the same structure. They may react on a short term because of some result going to come in the next week, but in general there is nothing more for us to trade. Some more in a consolidation, this one as well as this one try to give us a good a good breakout, but it failed. And going forward, agar ye 750 and especially agar 730 ko bhi agar breach karti hai, then going forward it can correct more. Alchem is also more in a box. Amaraja Battery is trying to get some support at 700. So this was Hamari strategy hai Amaraja mein, the only time when it will be able to close above 800, then only we would be interested in doing our momentum trades. Abuja Cement is the same thing which I discussed for ACC. The cement sector is not working, as a result of which it will just so I really don't expect any momentum and any such a good trade coming in our way from the cement sector. And this is actually good, because this actually narrows our sectors in which we are going to explicitly look at. APL Limited actually went towards a target of 850, and from there it corrected. So of course, agar market mein weakness nahi hoti, to I was pretty confident that 800 level would have been defended, but market may weakness thi, so now it's correcting towards a level of 750. So in general, there's nothing to trade. Apollo Hospital also, it was after this day when we actually lost whole interest, and actually on this when it was consolidating like this, we told about the levels of 4350, which will act like a very good sort of very good अगर वो broken, अगर if that gets broken, then theoretically उसमें और भी correction आ सकती है, और यही हुआ. It was just consolidating at 4350, shifting downwards, and from there you can see it's now at 4000. So I think हमने जब ये discussion किया था, then we mentioned about 4000, and I think Apollo Hospital might be able to defend 4000. And so if you are a long-term investor, maybe if I was a long-term investor in Apollo Hospital, then maybe I would have done a sip in 4000 levels, at these levels. Polo Tire is also more in a box, nothing much. Ashok Leyland was 136. Okay, perfect. So 136 is now is going to act like a support, and this is what we discussed over on this particular day. And this was earlier resistance, which is now going to act like a support. But given this particular structure, if it is not able to defend 136, because this is in general a very bearish structure, and going forward अगर इसको it has to give a closing above 148, और ये जब तक नहीं आएगी, this can actually drift towards again the levels of 133 and 130. So this is in general a very bearish structure which has formed. But going forward next week, there are a lot of auto related news and auto companies related results are going to come out, so maybe this will help. Asian Paint till now it's बहुत अच्छी होती है अगर ये 300 के ऊपर अगर एक closing देती है. And on this particular day we have earlier discussed of how a closing below 3200 can take it towards 3000, and that's exactly what happened, and now it actually went towards 2900 levels. From a reversal perspective, I think the only advantage which companies like Asian Paint has, these are all portfolio stocks, as a result of which there's a lot of buying interest. I'm seeing a lot of posts and tweets about how Asian Paints is on a multiple week or multiple is on a very important support level, but that actually has nothing to do with how the stock will move. Resistance and supports are meant to be broken, that's why they're there. So from you have to think from a psychological perspective, can it reverse? It can, but I wouldn't be betting my money on it. Rather I would be more interested to see agar ye 2850 2840 इस region में आई, and if the buying comes, because if I was long term, sorry, if I was a long term investor, or which I am at for Asian Paint, so मैं 2840 में मैं कुछ खरीद के रखूँगा for 3500 maybe. But going forward अगर आपको strength चाहिए, so you have to wait for a closing above 3200. अगर ये 3200 को easily breach नहीं कर पाएगी in the first go, and definitely it is going to 3200 is going to act like a very good support, a very good resistance. So if you are on a 3200 call, no, I can't say that, but again if अगर मैं 3200 call अगर मैं लेके रहता, so that wouldn't be a very prudent idea to have that, because 3200 is definitely going to act like a very good resistance for now. Of course the market is supreme, and if it's taken out, then we will enter aggressively in Asian Paint, and we will again try for the all-time high. You have to understand, whenever from a technical perspective 3500 was a good target, and this was achieved. So once the target is achieved, just like Reliance mein target 2752 tha, so once this is achieved, then the stock can go some within some weird profit booking, and some very important support levels can get broken, just like Reliance May 2700 2668, these were important levels, they got broken. 2600 भी next है, उसमें आके थोड़ा सा support मिली है. So after a good move, after the technical targets are met, especially in such big stocks, then of course there can be a profit booking, and you can't blame for not booking out your profits which you are planning for your other long term portfolio, short term portfolio, जो भी है आपको, जो भी आप खरीदे हो for that particular target, you have to be smart enough to book at the right time. Okay, Astral is more in a box. हमारा target 2500 is still intact. It was trying to give, and now it actually broke, and this is again a typical bearish pattern. We have to see अगर ये 2000 levels में आती है, and if a buying comes in general is somewhere in a box right now, and I am carrying Astral positions, and I am actually looking for a much bigger target than 2500 for medium term. AU Bank, it was surprisingly, it gave a very good move, and here you can see even with the weakness in the market, and this is one of the very few companies in the FNO sector जो बहुत अच्छी closing दी even with so much weakness in market. So AU Bank में 1200 was a very good support zone, so let's see if it is able to even take out the levels of 1250. इसके ऊपर अगर एक अच्छी, and especially अगर ये 1230 is ये 30-35 ये, this is acting like a good resistance here. So अगर ये इसके ऊपर एक closing देती है, then definitely going forward there can be a good move in AU Bank. Oro Pharma is just lingering, and from the looks of it, it seems like this is definitely going to correct towards levels of 660. Axis Bank, fantastic structure. Even with the weakness of the market, Axis as well as ICICI both were able to hold their important levels, just like 800 for Axis, and definitely going forward, we are expecting a good move towards the levels of 840, which would be an all-time high for it. Bajaj Auto is more in a box. 4,000 ke upar closing would be of interest to us. Till date, it has not been able to give us a closing above 4,000, and whenever it will go towards 4,000, profit booking will come from all this buying which is happening on this region. From a negative sense, अगर ये 3760 3750 के नीचे अगर ये ट्रेड करना स्टार्ट की, then it will correct towards 3600. Bajaj Finance as well as Bajaj Finance, I am very much interested, and I have again created positions in Bajaj Finance. We were lucky to book out at 8050, and I also tweeted about it in the at the opening it happened. We were lucky that we booked, and so 2 lots of Bajaj Finance, and then again it dipped towards 7600 on this particular day, 7600 exactly, and then again it went towards 7930 on this particular day. 7935, okay, yeah. So basically going forward, this is actually a good thing, because here you can see the day it touched 8000, it corrected to a 7500, and they now 7600, so it's making higher lows, which actually signifies one of these days the 8000 ko break karegi, and it's just waiting for for the market to reverse. And this is this particular bank is going to play a huge this particular financial is going to play a huge role in pulling Nifty, so this is definitely in my radar. Balakrishna Industry 26-24 के अंदर है, nothing much. Bandhan Bank also going good. 350 एक बहुत अच्छी एक रेजिस्टेंस लेवल है, एंड गोइंग फॉरवर्ड दिस इज़ मोर ऑफ अ बियरिश पैटर्न. अगर ये इमीडिएटली अगर 340 लेवल्स को ब्रीच नहीं करती है, सो इट कैन डेफिनेटली करेक्ट टुवर्ड्स द लेवल्स ऑफ 300 फ्रॉम हियर. Bank of Baroda is inching towards 100, and I think 96, okay, it's already done. So 96 was a good target in Bandhan Bank, and maybe this is the reason why some profit booking you can see over here. No matter what, just see if it is able to come towards 90, and the buying should come at 89 to 90, and then Bank of Baroda can continue its upward journey. Bata India, fantastic, ये अच्छी एक move है, and this is actually a bullish move. जब तक 2000 के नीचे एक कैंडल देके क्लोज नहीं देती है, there is absolutely nothing to worry, and I think going forward definitely हमारा जो earlier discussed targets है, this is definitely going to come in. BEL also is more in a box between 200 and 220. 200 के नीचे अगर closing आई, then it can automatically correct towards the levels of 180. Berger Paint is also, you can see there was a breakdown, so you can understand that all the paint companies, they corrected in the last few sessions. Berger Paint was not and Asian Paints was not the only one. So Berger Paint में जो interesting चीज़ हुई वो है ये 800 के below की closing, and then again in the next day it started off from 800, and then it automatically corrected to a 730. Going forward, 700 seems like a very good target if you are one of the people just like me who are very much interested in this particular sector, and from a fundamental perspective. And I think जो paint industry India में है, definitely there will be a lot of other players. We already have new players like Indigo, and we have also players like Crossing also entering this space, and there are a lot of speculations, but I think मेरे लिए Berger Paint, Asian Paint, Nerolac, so these are very much of interest to me, and I am definitely a long-term investor in this in these companies. So अभी क्वेश्चन यही है कि should I add at 700? कल अगर ये 600 में मिली तो, so this is something which you have to do your own risk reward, and I have my own strategy for investments for long term. Okay, Bharat Forge is 800 is acting like a resistance, and this is what we have been talking about. Okay, 800 के ऊपर ही it would be of interest to us, of course. We never knew that it will correct from here, so we are just waiting for a good closing above the levels of 820 is some sort of acting like a very good resistance, so let it close above that. Bharti Airtel gave a good move, and then again it on the next day itself it reversed, and this might be because of the market sentiment going forward. Again, this 700 is going to act like a resistance, and so basically there is no trade. I think अगर हमें trade लेना है, we would be actively monitoring the levels of 730. So this candle जो बनी थी उसके बाद it has never been able to cope with the selling pressure. So 730 would be very near to its all-time high, but अगर 730 निकली, so from a target perspective, I think 790, 780 would be a very good achievable, which would be an all-time high. BHEL also 80 was a resistance, was a support, and 69 is now acting like a support for BHEL, and going forward अगर ये इस levels को अगर maintain कर पाए, so if you are interested in BHEL, just try to have a look for the levels of 77 and definitely 80 इसके ऊपर closing आई, so there will be a good momentum. Biocon, we have already discussed a long time ago, many weeks ago, that for Biocon the only interesting parameter would be a closing above the levels of 386, and this was because of the technical analysis. Biocon में मैं आज से 2 महीने 3 महीने पहले किया था, and also the quarterly results are not going to be good for the next 2 quarters. This is also what we have been discussing, so we would only be targeting it for Feb 2022, and going forward अभी जो strategy होगी, it can actually consolidate and 350 gets broken, and so from now on you can expect 350 to act like a resistance, and from a target support perspective, I think 282, 285 is a good target. And in general, I really see a lot of tweets about people. See, there are 2 things. First of all is I am a momentum trader, and this video is more about finding the trades for the next day. So of course Biocon is not in my radar. Even if it reverses, it's not a momentum trade for me, right? But if you are an investor, so you should be looking in a totally different set of companies, and definitely Biocon is one of them, where buying in SIP and holding it for a longer term is a very good option, and this is also what I have been doing, and I will continue doing it. And I think Biocon at 300 to 80 would get some support, and then it would just keep on consolidating in this particular zone. Just like ITC has 200 and say 220 225, ये जो एक ITC का रेंज है, बायोकॉन का भी वैसे ही एक रेंज में ये कंसोलिडेट करती रहेगी. So you have to pick out whether you want to be an investor or you have to be a trader. You can't have a mix of both and expect everything to just move. Bosch Limited, very good consolidation चल रही है. Actually it's more in a box, and I think this 18,000 or 16,000 के बीच में रहेगी. And this is also if you remember when this structures were forming, I told that I am not a big fan of Bosch, and so it's just because of my professional interactions which I had with this particular company. I really don't like that much. BPCL is also nothing much. These are just consolidating. Britannia, again, Britannia is again a good portfolio stock, and it has been correcting. So let's see if 3600 is able to provide a support. Cadila Healthcare is also at 500. We talked about 500 some long time back, and this is definitely right now at 500, and there can be more corrections. Actually pharma is more is actually going nowhere, so कोई भी एक अच्छी न्यूज़ आएगी झट से बढ़ेगी, लेकिन the next day again the sell off will come. Canara Bank, fantastic consolidation is happening, and we were talking earlier when it was at these levels, we talked about how a 195 would be achieved, and this was achieved on this particular day, and then it went towards 200, and now it is again going to give a breakout about 200. So going forward अगर ये 200 से ऊपर move कर पाई, तो definitely the targets of 222 is in the cards for the short term. Canfin Home, after the result, maybe ये अभी 6,000 or 600 or 700 के बीच में है, and going forward we will see how it pans out. Cholafin, fantastic consolidation is happening at all-time high. It made an all-time high, and after that you can see it's making high lows, and going forward definitely 650 is a good short-term target for me, where I am ready to book some of my profits. Cipla also, this looks weak. गोइंग फॉरवर्ड ये लेवल्स को जस्ट ये होल्ड करने की कोशिश कर रही है, एंड इट गेव अ क्लोजिंग बिलो 900, सो मे बी गोइंग फॉरवर्ड इट विल करेक्ट मोर एंड ट्राई टू फाइंड सम सपोर्ट एट 800 region. Coal India also is not one of the companies where I invest in. I don't believe in this particular company and in this particular energy sector, so there are much better viable solutions for the future. But in general, I think this 180 is going to act like a sort of support, and it would only be of interest to us if it gives a closing above 200. Coforge. Actually, Coforge is one of the companies where I am very much excited to be in, and next week there's a result. So Coforge will actually be in my radar for the first trade of in Monday, and I will try to see if a buying comes immediately after opening, and then we will be able to gauge how it moves. In general, 6,000 seems like a very good टारगेट. हमने कोफोर्ज में पोजीशंस इन दिनों में बनाया था, एंड देन वी बुक्ड आउट ऑन दिस वन बिकॉज 6,000 वाज अ गुड टारगेट, एंड आल्सो द टारगेट विच वी वेर वेटिंग फॉर बिकॉज इट वाज नॉट ओनली psychological resistance but also because of this from a technical perspective and from a technical target perspective, 6,000 was a good one, so we booked, and now I think going forward it is going to reverse from these levels, so keep Coforge in your radar at least for the next week, and let's see what comes out of it. Okay, the next one is City Union Bank. It's actually is in a box, so between Colpal 1700 mein achhi it was trying to get some support since long, and then it gave a breakdown on this particular day where the important levels were broken, and from 1700 it has now corrected towards 1550 levels. Going forward, अगर ये immediately अगर 1620 यहाँ पे बना था exactly, so 1630 would be our good sort of resistance for now for Colpal, and this is something which you can track for reversal, and going forward, of course, from a technical perspective it can correct even towards the levels of 1500. Concord also 750 is correct. Okay, now it's going towards 650. Coromandel also, actually these structures are totally nothing. It's making higher lows and lower lows and lower highs, so basically there is no strength. Crompton, it's a very good support, came in from 450 levels, एंड इन जनरल ये 450, 460 और 500 के बीच में ही है, एंड गोइंग फॉरवर्ड अगर कोई स्ट्रेंथ देखनी है, सो वी हैव टू वेट फॉर अ स्ट्रॉन्ग क्लोजिंग अबव द लेवल्स ऑफ 500, देन ओनली वी कैन think of having a look at Crompton. City Union Bank, nothing much. Cummins also, this is typical bearish structure. Going forward, agar Cummins India is not able to take some positions and is not able to give a closing above sell levels of 950, it can actually from a technical perspective correct towards levels of 800 in the short term. Dabur also is weak, 600 important support level 3, but 580 is again a good support. So basically I think ये 580 और 600 के बीच में ही रहेगी for this expiry, and there's nothing we can expect. Bharat is also shifting downwards, and 2500 से भी 2000 तक आ गई है, so it can again correct more towards the levels of 1500. Deepak Nitrite is also 2500 के नीचे क्लोजिंग दी है, and these are very typical bearish structures. हमारे लिए the important levels would be 2900 and especially 3000. ये levels को हम मॉनिटर करेंगे जब तक उसके ऊपर क्लोजिंग नहीं आती है, and especially अगर ये 2350, 2400 को नीचे भी अगर जाने स्टार्ट की, it can automatically correct towards the levels of 2000. Okay, Delta Corp is also between 300 and 250, and the good thing is it's making high lows till now, but again these are very typical bearish structures. अगर immediate reversal नहीं आई, and especially अगर ये 250 की जगह ट्रेड करनी स्टार्ट कर दी, it can actually then correct towards the levels of 200. Divis Lab also is more in a box between levels of 5000 and 5400. Going forward, अगर ये 5000 को breach करती है, then it can correct more. Dixon also, it made a good target of 6000, which we were talking from these particular days. So it was very evident. And then Dixon, actually the structure of Dixon is very similar to what you will see in IRCTC also. So 6000 was a good target, and from there it went towards 6243. IRCTC went towards 6400, and then it formed a gap, a sort of profit booking, and now it's actually consolidating at important zone. अगर ये zone break होती है 5000, then theoretically, and especially अगर ये 4950 के नीचे अगर जाती है, then going forward it can definitely, it will correct towards the levels of 4000. DLF also 450 और 400 के बीच में है. Dr. Reddy also 5000 was a good resistance we talked about. It was unable to sustain the first time as well as the second time, and now it is correcting. And this is exactly why we have been talking that Dr. Reddy above 5000 is only when we would be interested in Dr. Reddy. But the good thing is, I think Dr. Reddy's result is going to come next week, and so theoretically there can be some reversal from these levels. Aisha Motor also 2600 और इसके बीच में है. So there is nothing much actually. The next company is my favorite one in the auto sector right now. Escorts is at all-time high, and this is sort of a company जिसके ऊपर मेरे बहुत I have a lot of faith, and going forward I think it actually in the last days we made our positions over here, because it went towards levels of 1420, and I have always told that 1420 जब तक hold करती है Escorts, there is nothing for me to worry about. So from there it went towards the levels of 1500 plus in the next trading session, that's on Friday. So going forward we are expecting a good move. In general ये अभी 1450 और 1520 के बीच में ही रहेगी, and then going forward अगर ये 1520 को breach करती है, then definitely it will go towards our short-term target of 1600 maybe. और Escorts की result next week आने वाली है, and I think it will be posting good results, which the market should like. Exide, it has now breached even 180 from 190, and so it is again more in a box. Federal Bank, very good move has come in even with all the weakness in the Nifty, and going forward अगर इसको dip मिलती है especially towards the levels of 90 95, और अगर वो वहाँ से reverse करती है, then it would be a good trade if you are interested in this particular bank. Gale is also gave a breakout after a good consolidation, and then this is a failed breakout. Going forward it is going to come towards the levels of 140 अगर immediate reversal यहाँ से नहीं आती है. Glenmark is also more in a box. So none of this, so the two particular sectors, pharma and cement, they are absolutely not working, and so there is not much interest happening. So investing money in these is more like waiting for and hoping for it to reverse, but definitely from the structure of it, I think and the way this particular script is, जब तक 540 के ऊपर closing नहीं आती है, there is nothing much which is going to happen in Glenmark. GMR Infra is also inching towards 40, which is like a good support, but I think the chances are very high. अगर ये 39 को breach करती है, then definitely it will correct again towards the levels of 30. Godrej Consumer Product is also ये एक अच्छी move थी, and this was the move where we booked our profits, and I tweeted about it. And the reason was 1100 was going to act like a support, and after that it was consolidating between these levels, and then this particular candle actually, and this one, so they actually showcased that it's going to actually this together with pharma, even the FMCG has not been able to cope up with it except Marico. और Marico के बारे में हमने डिस्कस किया था, and then Marico, the reason we will discuss once Marico comes in. Other than that, Godrej Consumer Product is also, and actually it's also very true, all the companies, they have been reporting high inflation and how they have been unable, or they have been fighting to cope with it. So of course this will have a very direct consequence on FMCG sector, so this is nothing new. It's just a matter of understanding and सो आई थिंक 980 एक इम्पॉर्टेंट जोन था जो एक्चुअली ब्रीच हुआ है, एंड दिस इज एक्चुअली नॉट गुड. सो अगर ये 900 तक आई, and Godrej Consumer Product is also one of the companies which is in my long-term portfolio, so definitely 900 would be an interesting zone for me to track. Godrej Properties also is more in a box. It's making it's a good technical structure. You can see it's making high highs, high lows, and now let's see अगर ये 2500 के ऊपर closing देती है. Granules nothing. Grasim also is more in a box. 1800 के ऊपर ही उसकी कुछ मूव आएगी. गुजरात गैस also ये हमने ट्वीट किया था, एंड फ्रॉम देयर 600 तक आने की बात की थी. It came to a 606, I think. Sorry, it came to a 607. और फिर 3 दिन में 635 चली गई थी. आई थिंक या एग्जैक्टली ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर डे वी बुक्ड आउट बिकॉज वी न्यू जब तक 650 के ऊपर क्लोजिंग नहीं आएगी it won't be giving a strength, and this is exactly what happened. But unfortunately it was not able to hold the levels of 650, and right now again I think even the levels of 600 can get breached in Gujarat Gas, and there can be more correction happening in Gujarat Gas. Let's see, the next one is HAL. 1500 was a very good target, and it actually did overshoot towards 1566. So we were very much confident in HAL from this particular day when it was just lingering at after a good consolidation. ये move आई थी, and then we were expecting a 1500. Actually we were expecting 1550, and this is also what I tweeted about. And from there you can see there was a profit booking, and now you can see that even the important zone of support has been breached. So going forward, let's see if it's again able to give a closing above 1400, then only it would be of interest to us. Havels also is corrected after the result, and so theoretically there can be a reversal from this zone. And this is also true for HCL Tech. So 1200 is going to act like a good support for Havels. Also I think ये जो 1400 की एक resistance है, we have to see how it behaves near it. HDFC gave a very good breakout. It's a it's an all-time high breakout, and very good move came in, and going forward 3000 seems like a good support. HDFC AMC, we talked about 2800, and that was exactly achieved, and we talked about this target on this particular day. And after that you can see ये तब 2900 में थी, and 2800 was a very good sort of target, और उसको भी breach कर ली है, and going forward there can be a more downfall. HDFC Bank is also at all-time high. 1700 is like acting like a very good consolidation हो रही है 1700 में, and going forward definitely it will fly towards much higher targets given, and these HDFC as well as HDFC Bank together with Bajaj Finance, I have a lot of expectations from these three at least. HDFC Life 700 के नीचे closing आई है, and going forward it can correct towards 650. Hero Motor Corp also, this is more in a box, and then breakdown from the box came in, and going forward it can correct more. So as a result of which you can see the reason why I'm more interested in Escorts is you can see there's a downfall which came in Hero Motor Corp, whereas you can compare this with the chart of Escorts. Hindalco, I think there is huge correction is going to come in, and basically अभी ये 470 में है, and going forward I think even the levels of 450 can get breached, and we have to see of whether it gets some support from 450. It tried to give us a breakout, and then this breakdown came in, and from there from 500 we are at 470 now. In Petro, 333 was our target, and this was what we have discussed from the levels of 280. And after this there has been some profit booking, and now it's again trying to go forward. अगर ये 340 is going to act like a hurdle, अगर ये 340 को breach करती है, so there can be a much higher move. Hindustan Unilever also is typical FMCG जैसे move कर रही है. This is how it's behaving. 2400 would be an interesting level. अगर वो भी breach करती है, then there can be more correction possible. India Bull Housing Finance is more in a box. It tried to give us a breakout, failed out, then again it's consolidating. ICICI Bank, fantastic move, and definitely I couldn't find any interesting long positions being added. in the last session, but again the results are good. Let's see अगर ये 750 levels को hold कर पाती है even after Monday. So definitely this will be a very good sign for new up move in ICICI Bank. ICICI GI, we talked about all the insurance companies, even ICICI Prudential Life, that we are going to stay away from it, let them correct, let them come and let them get a particular structure. We have ample amount of time in the market, so we are going to just look into the sector at the month of December, and definitely we would be especially after the month of November, we would start only looking into these companies. Idea is also trying to get some support at 10. IDFC First Bank is more in a box, but the good thing is it's making higher lows, and going forward I think it can easily go beyond 52 is now acting like a resistance, but going forward 55 seems like a very good psychological resistance. IEX, we discussed about IEX in the last, and 560 is something which is of interest to us. So we discussed on this particular day, and then again, even with the good news flow, there has been no strength in IEX till now, and it's just definitely this doesn't look really good. Going forward, अगर ये 840 850 region को breach नहीं करती है, then there is a lot of bad news which is going to come in IEX. Bad news in terms of price movement, and especially since the 750 760 ये जो zone है, this is now trying to act like a support, but you can easily see even with such a good result being posted, it closed at day's low, and going forward अगर ये 750 760 के नीचे अगर trade करना start कर दी, it will qualify as failed breakout, and then it can eventually come towards the levels of 600. IGL also 500 breach हो गई है, and now it's inching more lower, so maybe going forward it can totally come towards the levels of 400. Indian Hotel, so these are both IEX and IGL, these are very good, weak counters, they are really weak, and going forward अगर जब से अगर reversal नहीं आई, there can be a huge detrimental effect on this particular stock. Indian Hotel also is 200 में this is consolidating. India Cement is 200 और 230 के बीच में ही है, there's nothing much. India Mart also is trying to get some support, and let's see. So for IEX, we will be tracking this as mentioned 840 850, और उसके ऊपर ही we would be creating our positions. Definitely medium term में 1000 seems like is still a valid target. Indigo, this is Indigo की result भी next week आने वाली है, and I think it should correct more before the result. So 1800 should be a good sort of support, and let's see. I would definitely be tracking Indigo, how it moves from here. IndusInd Bank, fantastic structure, and this is definitely going to give us a very good move in the next week. So keep a track. This is nicely consolidating at all-time high. The second thing is the Bank Nifty is really strong, so there is all this tailwinds which is going to help this particular company. Indus Tower, nothing much. ये 300 में consolidate कर रही है. This is bullish structure. So if you are interested, 330 would be a very good sort of tracking zone. 320 say 330, try to see if it is able to give a closing above that, then there can be a move. Infi is also 1800 के ऊपर एक breakout देने की कोशिश की थी, which was an all-time high, but unfortunately it was unable to. I think going forward it will even correct towards the levels of 1650 if no immediate support comes from 1700. Indian Oil Corporation 140 was a very good target. We discussed about it much earlier when it was lingering at 110, and from there you can see IOC and Hind Petro. These are the two companies in the crude sector which I am always having positions in. But in general, abhi going forward, agar ye 130, it seems like 130 is going to get breached very soon, and if it does, then theoretically we would be tracking the levels of 126 and 124 reversal. Lab also is shifting downwards, and going forward it's trying to get some support. Let's see what comes out of it. In general, जब तक 2500 के ऊपर closing नहीं आती, we won't be interested. IRCTC is this is a typical sort of bearish structure. अगर ये 5000 के ऊपर immediately closing नहीं देती है, then going forward it can actually correct below 4000, and so this is something, this is not good. The structure is definitely not working, and it seems IRCTC is bound to give us a good move in a very short term. But in general, I think 5000 is a very tough resistance for IRCTC to breach on a closing level. So and going forward, 4000 seems to be a very achievable target. So this is how it looks like. Agar 4400 levels breach hoti hai, so right now it's between 4400 and 5000. Agar ye 4400 breach hoti hai, then definitely 4000 and below is going to come. ITC, okay, so ITC is consolidated breakdown. Yeah, so this is a failed breakdown, and as a result of which I think ITC 220 230 it can easily come towards 225. मेरा personal ITC का target है 216. So from a technical perspective, अगर ये of course you can understand, अगर 2-3 दिन change होती है, price move होती है, then of course the target accordingly change होगी. But अगर कल ही move आनी है, so 216 से 220 it should be achievable from this particular region, and the only strength in ITC would be closing above 250 from here. We created positions in ITC, and I tweeted about it on when it gave a closing at 238 on this particular day, and from there you can see we had first a target of 250 where we booked over here, and then we again created positions on this particular day when again it got a very good support in the very opening 15-20 minutes at 250. From there it went towards 265. हमारा target 263 था, which was a technical target. From there we were again monitoring 250. ये breach हो गई, and this is exactly the candle which actually broke the whole sentiment. So going forward, I think even the levels of 220 should get broken, and definitely if it's not broken, which means that there is a huge amount of positive sentiment in the ITC, and this has nothing to do with the news flow, because ITC should be able to pass on the tax hike to the end customer, but it's not like that. It's stock moves in the very short term, not based on news, but basically based on the positions that have been created. In general, I would be tracking 215 to 218 for reversal zone, and I think that zone should be coming, and we don't know when, but again 250 के ऊपर अगर closing आती है, then we would again be creating positions in ITC. Jindal Steel it's nothing, sorry, it's between 400 and I think it will again come towards 400. JK Cement sector is not working. Jsw Steel, it gave us a good move, and we were able to catch this move. I tweeted about how last week actually there's the steel sector was showing a good momentum, and there were a lot of interesting positions which got added, and it was able to breach and give a closing above 700. And then this particular candle actually broke this particular sentiment, and now again it's trying to get some support, but I short term actually the whole market is looking really weak to me, and from all the data which has formed till Friday, and as a result of which, you know, there are more of these short trades which are coming in my mind rather than long trades. But you never know, because in the market on Monday, if again the positions they get started, if people start gets if big players they keep on making new positions, then again the sentiment can change. But till now I think even the levels of 650 will get broken in JSW Steel. Jubilant Food also, you can see 4000 was an important level, it got breached. 3500 seems like a good support. Let's see. KOTAKBANK, fantastic move has come in, and right now it made an all-time high of 2200. हमने Kotak Bank में when we made our positions, we were having a very good idea about 2200, and that was achieved in the last session, and we booked our profits. Going forward, definitely we are going to see how it moves. In general, I think even if it corrects, it will try to get some support from 2200 levels. L&T Finance Housing, very good move के बाद एक अच्छी move आई थी towards 95, and then again it corrected, and these are all failed breakouts. You can see Lal Path Lab, these are all failed breakouts, and so even if it reverses, I'm pretty confident that going forward this particular level of 3800 3900 would again 3750, say 3800 will act like a very good resistance. From a target perspective, 3000 seems like a very good target for Lal Path Lab, and there is going to be definitely 3200 आनी ही चाहिए. LIC Housing Finance also, you can see a very big gap down happen, and going forward agar ye 400 it also seems is going to I think is going to act like a support, and maybe it will stay between 400 and 450. Lawson and Tublo, very nice consolidation even with the weakness in, so these are important structures. See LTI, so all time high mein consolidate kar rahi hai, even if with such a huge sell off which has happened in Nifty. This particular candle was made when Nifty was at 18,600. This particular candle is made when Nifty is at 18,000. So basically you can understand no change has happened in the price. Going forward, there is a huge amount of much larger target which I am targeting in LTI in the short to medium term, and I have also huge positions carrying. I am carrying in LTI. We booked out some of our positions at 7,000 level when it made an all-time high, and that was also because of the move came because of the result which LTI posted. So of course, but then going forward, we are just waiting again for the levels of 6,000 if it ever comes, and then we would be adding more. Compared to that, LT also 1800 levels seems like यहाँ पे breakout होके अभी भी ये 1800 को hold करने की कोशिश कर रही है, and I think given any strength in the bank Nifty, which if it induces a strength in Nifty, especially with the way the market is going to react to Reliance result, so definitely the company like LT can actually also take part, because the structures have not been invalidated and they have been able to hold their ground, and so this is good. LTTS, the day it broke 5,000, it was actually a sad day, and going forward अगर ये 4500 के नीचे अगर closing देती है, then definitely this is correcting towards the levels of 4,000 or 4,200. Lupin, we have been talking about Lupin, so हमारा strategy बहुत simple है. I think Lupin may even breach can come towards the levels of 900. So right now it's at 920 level, and जब तक ये 1000 के ऊपर closing नहीं देती है, there is nothing much to expect in Lupin. M&M is the second auto company which I am very much interested in. This is at all-time high levels, and you can see that it's very much in good consolidation between these levels. हमारे लिए important zone 880 होगा, and if 880 is taken out, and especially 880 say 870, so right now it's at 890 levels. So अगर ये इसमें अगर इसको reversal मिलती है, that would be good. From a reversal perspective, हम 900 के above closing को track करेंगे, especially 904, और going forward we are expecting levels of 1000 in M&M. M&M Finance also, you can see this is not bad compared to if you see over here L&T Finance Housing, right? LIC Housing Finance. So if you compare these companies, the structure, the downfall, the breakdown which happened in these companies, M&M Finance, you can see it's still able to hold their ground, and which actually showcases that it's just waiting for some positive move in the Nifty, and going forward there can be a good move towards the levels of 200, which is a good sort of short-term target which we have discussed. In general, अगर जब तक ये 180 के नीचे closing नहीं देती है, there is absolutely nothing to worry, and till then everything is fine. Manappuram, we have been discussing Manappuram on these particular days. हमारा target 200 था, which was easily and handsomely achieved. Going forward, हमने ये भी बोला था कि 220 is going to be acting like a huge resistance, and so going forward अगर ये 195 को अगर breach करके trade करने start की, then this will qualify as a failed breakout, and then it will again correct towards the levels of 180. In general, Manappuram was having a very good move earlier, and then because of the result, there was a huge correction towards levels of 160. It spent a huge amount of time at between 160 and 170, and then when the up move came in from this particular day, हमारा तब से टारगेट 200 था, and it took sorry, it took a lot of sessions, especially then we added more of our positions when it was able to give a closing about 180. From there, 200 was a target we achieved, and now it tried to overshoot, and now this is actually bad because there was a sell-off. So अगर ये 190 to 194 इस region के नीचे अगर trade करना start की, then again it will correct. Marico, the advantage which Marico had was on this particular day, and especially on this particular day, जब मैंने video post किया था, we knew it was going for 600, which was a good psychological support and as resistance, and this is exactly what was achieved. It made an all-time high at 607, and right now it's again back to 550. Going forward, I think Marico is one of अगर आपके FMCG में positions बनानी है, then definitely, sorry, if I was interested in creating positions in FMCG, I would definitely be creating positions in Marico. मारुति ये 750 में अच्छी कंसोलिडेट कर रही है between 750 and 780, 7500 and 7800 sorry, and going forward जब तक ये 7400 को होल्ड कर रही है, which is near about where it is now, तब तक ये एक ऐसे ही बॉक्स में है. अगर वो इसको ब्रीच करती है, then definitely it can again correct to a service of 7000. But I think Maruti is also poised to post this result next week, so maybe that sentiment is going to keep it afloat. In general, you should always be tracking this 7500, and I think expiry 7500 की आसपास ही होनी चाहिए. So let's see what comes out of it. In general, if Maruti comes towards 7000, it is definitely going to get some really good sort of support, I think, and definitely this is prior to result. After result, we never know where it is going to go. McDowell also is more between 800 and 900, so 900 was a very good target. It actually overshoot towards 930ish level, and now again it's back towards 830. Going forward, अगर 800 को hold कर पाए, there's nothing to worry. MCX also ये एक अच्छी एक मूव दी थी, and it was able to hold. Then again a breakdown came on this particular day where it gave a closing below 2000, and now it's correcting towards 19 from 2000 is now to 1800, and from there I can easily see as levels of 1600. Metropolis also, just like Lalpat Lab, जब तक ये 3000 के ऊपर closing नहीं देती है, there is absolutely no positions we would be making or be looking at. Going forward, अगर इस the important levels अगर breach होती है, especially अगर ये 2700 के नीचे अगर ट्रेड करना स्टार्ट करती है, 2500 seems very much doable. MFSL, this is one of the companies where I have created positions on this particular day, and I'm still carrying it. I know this is sort of weak, and this is 1000 levels तक गई थी, and I think going forward I am expecting more of 900 levels over here, and this is a very bearish structure. जब तक levels of 1035 is not taken out, there is absolutely no strength in MFSL. I think we are just I'm just waiting for confirmation of this breakdown, and then we would be actively and hugely selling 1000 call. Because 1000 has been acting like a good resistance, and I have my cash holding which I created on this particular day at 1000 levels, which is going to get hedged against those options. MGL, just like IGL, ये अभी 1000 levels में आ गई है. Going forward it can even correct more, so there is absolutely no strength in MGL, IGL, Gujarat Gas, so definitely stay away from it. Mindtree, fantastic consolidation, fantastic move. It seems like it is now ready for a very good move. This made tried to go towards 4900 multiple times in the past, and going forward I think it is going to make an all-time high very soon, and it's just a matter of 5000 seems like a very good sort of support target for now. Let's see if it is able to move past it. Motherson Sumi also is between. It tried to give us a breakout and then again it failed, and now again it's more in a box, nothing much. Emphasis, a fantastic move came after the result, 3200, but it was unable to sustain it. 3500 levels तक चली गई थी, sorry, and we are very much interested अगर ये 3500 के ऊपर अगर जा सकती है. From here it can easily reverse, and we are just waiting for the reversal. So definitely Emphasis, Coforge, LTI, Mindtree, these 4 companies would definitely, Escorts, M&M. So ये 6-7 companies को मैं अपने first trade में definitely include कर रहा हूँ for Monday. MRF, nothing much. ये अभी just 80,000 के नीचे भी अगर trade करना start की, it can correct to 7,500 or below. And Muthoot Finance also 1,600 exactly. So Muthoot Finance, we took 2 trades. One was Muthoot Finance and Shriram Transport Finance. ये दोनों trade में हमारा target achieve हुआ on the last Friday. So here you can see 1600 was our target, and this target was discussed when it was able to take out the levels of 1500, and we kept on 1600 was our good target, and this was achieved. So going forward, now it's more in a box between 1500 and 1600. NAM India also very nicely consolidating at all time high. ये 440 region में आ ही नहीं रही है, and going forward I think 460 would be a very good closing is definitely going to come about above the levels of 460. So this NAM India is looking really good. National Alam is like a typical PSU. It tried to give us a good move, and then immediate reversal came. अगर ये 100 को breach करती है, then going forward there can be more correction. Naukri unfortunately is iska 7400 was a very good target which was achieved on this particular day, and from there it hugely corrected below 7000, and then it was very evident that the 7000 is going to act like a very good resistance, and this is exactly what happened in the next 2 sessions, and now you can see a breakdown has come, and going forward 6000 में शायद जाके इसको कोई support मिले, but definitely 6000 is coming in Naukri. Naveen Fluorine में 3500 above closing would be at least mandatory, but in general it's making high lows, high highs, and in general this particular structure signifies nothing in general whether it's going to reverse from here or not. The only thing we would be which you can as a trader look at is whether 3500 में ये sustain कर पाती है, but from the looks of it I think 3500 के ऊपर ये sustain नहीं कर पाएगी, and if that's the case then again it can correct more. And from our perspective we have been discussing Naveen Fluorine since long. हमारे लिए 4000 is a very important level. जब तक इसके ऊपर closing नहीं आती है I really wouldn't be betting my money on Naveen Fluorine for reversal. Okay, Nestle India also is more like 19,000 भी breach करने वाली है, and is coming towards 18,000, nothing much. NMDC also typical PSU company, and this is exactly the reason why I don't play for a longer time frame on all these PSU companies. Once they start correcting, absolutely all the moves which comes in they get invalidated. अभी यहाँ से लग रहा है 140 will even get breached, and it can easily correct towards the levels of 130. NTPC also is trying to hold this levels, but again 140 के नीचे closing आ सकती है. 140 would be an interesting level to see if buying comes in. Oberoi Realty is also 1000 के ऊपर closing आएगी, then only it will be of interest to us. OFSS is more between 4500 and 5000, and this is a very typical move in OFSS, and this is how it moves. And going forward, okay, yeah, Naukri में 6000 का हम लोग जो जैसे डिस्कस किया, that will be also a new thing which will be tracking. OFSS में भी हम देखेंगे 4500 में levels के ऊपर ये consolidate कर रही है कि नहीं. See, in general I'm very much bullish on midcap ID. They have posted really brilliant results. IEX also has posted very brilliant results. So there's so as long as the results are in line and the results make me happy, I am not very much worried whether I buy IEX at 800 or 600 or 500, because my time frame is definitely is on a much longer horizon. So eventually I know I can be trading my holdings in cash and hedge against options. Okay, ONGC हमने 148 में छोड़ दिया था, and this was I think on this particular day. From there it went towards 170 plus, so it's a good move. But now you can see that's exactly what happens in PSUs. They keep on differing, and agar 140 में फिर आई, then we would be looking at it. Till now there is absolutely no data which can suggest what will come next. In general, you can track 165 zone and see if closing comes over there. Page industry, fantastic consolidation is happening. 40,000 was a target which we discussed on this particular day when it took out 3,500, and from there for 40,000 came, and right now it still seems 40,000 per closing again, so there can be a good move. PEL, unfortunately this was one of my best companies जिसमें हमने बहुत अच्छे ट्रेड्स लिए इन द पास्ट, और हमारा 3000 का टारगेट भी अचीव हुआ था, वह भी बुकड आउट एंड it actually did overshoot, but I did say that 3000 was perfectly fine, and from a technical perspective, and we booked out our profits. And it was on this particular day that the news of the demerger came in, and from there I have been talking about how I am no longer interested in PEL. So when this particular structure was forming, we talked about 2500, and now you can see it's very near to 2550. So going forward, I think it will be more in a box. In general, demergers are a pain, and on the top of that, the valuations, you have to do a lot of calculations just to understand the valuation of the particular demerger. I don't have the technical expertise to do that, so I will let the market decide. So we will look into PEL Piramal after March of 2022. Persistent is after the result, it gave us a good move of breakout from 4000, and then it's again going forward. We will see अगर ये 4000 levels को breach करती है, especially ये level 4250 would be of interest to us. Definitely ये 3500 4500 seems like a very good target for short to medium term. Petronet also 240 was resistance, and that's exactly very validated. Now 230, and going forward I think it is going to even breach the levels of 230. PFC also 150 was a good target. After 150 it seems like you can see a breakdown coming in, and going forward it can again correct towards the levels of 130. Pfizer also you can see यहाँ पे एक breakdown आई थी, and from there now it's drifting towards 5000. We talked about on this particular day, especially when we knew that 5500 breach होने वाली है, and we talked about 5000, and it seems like maybe it will come in the very short term. Pidilite is the same thing with all this FMCG counters. There's a huge amount of inflation which these companies are fighting to handle, and so maybe this is the reason that Pidilite was unable to hold the levels of 2400. Going forward 2200 seems like a good support. These structures don't get fooled by this pin. These are nothing, and eventually अगर 300 के नीचे अगर ये ट्रेड करना स्टार्ट की 2200 would definitely be in the cards. PI industry भी also 3400 के ऊपर closing जब तक नहीं आएगी, we won't be trading, and this is what we have been talking about on all of these days. 3400 seems like a good resistance, and from there you can see when the breakdown came in, and now it's below 3000. So let's see how it behaves. I had PI Industries, Pidilite. These are my favorite trading company. जिसमें हमने बहुत अच्छे trades लिए हैं on these sessions. And going forward, definitely हमारा this would be our target to create more positions for trading, but we are just waiting for see, right now the problem is market is very unpredictable, and I am not seeing any positions, meaningful positions getting added, as a result of which it's very hard to say whether it will reverse from here or not. Definitely the chances are high that it can reverse, but until and unless the reversal comes in, there is nothing we can comment on. PNB, this is a very typical bearish structure. I know there's a lot of positive sentiment around PNB, लेकिन ये जब तक 48-49 के ऊपर नहीं आती है, there is absolutely nothing you should be I would be doing, क्योंकि ये जनरली एक बहुत ही एक टिपिकल बियरिश फॉर्मेशन है. एंड गोइंग फॉरवर्ड अगर ये 44-43 के नीचे का ट्रेड करना स्टार्ट कर दी, देन डेफिनेटली इट विल करेक्ट टुवर्ड्स 40 एंड इवन बिलो, एंड इट कैन इवन गो टुवर्ड्स द लेवल्स ऑफ 36. So ये बहुत पावरफुल बियरिश स्ट्रक्चर्स होती हैं. सो इट्स जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ वेदर ये 48 49 को 48 46 47 ये जो लेवल्स हैं यहाँ पर जाके अगर होल्ड कर पाती है, देन ओनली देयर इज अ चांस इन पीएनबी, नो मैटर व्हाट द इंडेक्स PSU index says, because you have to understand the PSU index can give a breakout, and that can happen just because Canara Bank and State Bank of India. Polycab, okay, there's nothing much. Polycab 2000, I mean, this is nothing. What can why you want to be in this particular position where you just have to hope for a reversal? And till now the chances of reversal looks really good, but definitely strength would come only above 2500 from here. But definitely if you are one of those, if you're trying to make a position, then of course this 2200 seems like a good position if you want to do some investments for short to medium term. Okay, power grid is ये अच्छी एक 220 तक गई थी. So 210 तक गई थी, and then it was expected कि ये 200 levels को hold करेगी. It didn't, and now it's again down. So going forward, let's see अगर ये फिर 200 के ऊपर closing देती है. If not, then it can again come towards the levels of 180. PVR also, there's a lot of good news and good movies coming in, and I'm definitely very much interested in PVR. It made an all-time high, and this was known from the day it was actually consolidating in this particular zone, and from there again it came to a 1600. So there is some buying happening. Let's see agar ye 1600 and especially agar ye the levels of 1550 agar hold kar pai, so there is still a chance for PVR to make a new all-time high of 1800 levels. Ramco Cement, just like any other cement company, this whole sector is not breaking. RBLBANK is also trying to give us a breakout. It seems like 200 को अगर breach की 200 को breach की, then 230 can be a good achievable target, especially 228. So you can open the chart of RBLBANK and see why 228 is so important. REC Limited also is between 150 and 170, nothing much. Reliance, this is a very bad candle, and I really don't like the size of this particular candle, but again given the result, so हम 2660 and especially अगर ये 2700 के ऊपर जाके अगर ट्रेड करने लगी at 10:30 in the morning, definitely we would be targeting 2800. हमारा target 2752 था, and this was posted on 5th of October. This was also what I tweeted about, and this was achieved on this particular day. From there we were expecting the 2700 levels would not be breached, so this is exactly what also happened over here, and then eventually it came towards 2600. अभी ये जो structure है, this is definitely not good for the bulls, or if we look at 2550 अगर ये breach होती है, there can be a huge correction, and it can even come towards 2400 and 2300 levels. It just depends on how the market is going to react to the result, and how the positions are going to get created after that. In general, the technical targets of Reliance has already been met, and so the only targets for the next run will only come out once we get a very clear-cut idea. And in general, on Friday I tweeted at 2:30 p.m. That I am seeing no positions were getting added in Reliance which were meaningful, that that people wanted to carry, so it was only just a nominal positions got added. So let's see. Okay, Zeal 120 के ऊपर एक अच्छी breakout दी थी. It went towards 130 and now again it's back to 128. So these are very typical PSU moves. SBI Life also, we are not going to look into SBI Life, HDFC Life, or any other life insurance sector. It can correct more, it can go anywhere. So let's wait for all the dust to settle, and I think by November end-ish we would be having a very clear-cut idea. State Bank of India, fantastic consolidation is happening. It seems like every time it's making higher lows and higher highs. It's making all-time high every day, and this from a target perspective, definitely it can shoot up hugely, and my short-term targets have already been discussed in other video. So let's see how it moves from here. इन जनरल जब तक ये फ़ोन 9488 लेवल्स को होल्ड कर रही है, देयर इज़ नथिंग टू वरी. जब ये उसके नीचे ट्रेंड करना स्टार्ट करेगी, देन अगेन इट कैन ऑटोमेटिकली करेक्ट टूवर्ड्स लेवल्स ऑफ 440. Jsw Cement also, typical cement sector, there's absolutely no strength. Siemens 2400 was a good target. It made an all-time high on this particular day. We talked about Siemens on this particular day of 2400, and this was achieved, and now again it's back. It seems like this is again a breakdown of and maybe from here it will again go towards the levels of 2200. SRF is also weak. So in general I think Deepak Nitrite and Aarti, these are the two companies जिसको आपको अभी थोड़ी सी देखनी चाहिए. I'm not saying SRF is not the stock which but I would be more interested in seeing if Aarti is able to hold this 1000 and Deepak Nitrite भी एक interesting structure बनेगा. Shriram Transport Finance, हमारा टारगेट 1550 था. This was the day यहाँ पे जब ये 1400 को ब्रीच करके यहाँ पे, I think it was on this particular day when we knew that 1500 is going to come, and this is also what we tweeted about. I saw a lot of big name traders who were actually talking about a breakout on this particular day, but I actually saw no positions getting added, and this is also on this particular day. I posted when I posted the video, I said I really don't think this is going to break out, and this is exactly what happened. It corrected towards 1300, and on this particular day I knew that a very good move is going to come towards 1500, and that's exactly what happened. Actually it opened at 1500, I remember, because my positions they just got executed at the very opening. Okay, Star is again 600 or 550 के बीच में थी. Now it seems like again it's going for a breakdown, so maybe 500 is going to come. Sun Pharma also 800 levels को easily breach कर सकती है. It's between 800 and 850. अगर 800 को breach करती है, and especially अगर 791 को breach करती है, going forward 750 is in the cards. Sun TV also nicely consolidating, but it's absolutely total crap script. Syngin, we talked about how Syngin is going to breach 600, and this is exactly what happened. Going forward it can again correct towards 550, so it's also not one of the companies which I'm more interested in. Tata Chem, actually this is interesting because it gave a very good candle from 980 to all-time high. On this particular day we traded and we were all happy, and from there it actually corrected, and this is a very typical structure which you will also find in companies like Asian Paint in the last 2 months. Also Glenmark में ये structure हुई थी, Godrej Consumer Product में ही हुई थी few months back, where you see that a very good move, and all the move is taking out in just a matter of 4-5 sessions. So ये होती है कि धीरे धीरे करके इस स्क्रिप्ट को मारना. So in general I think going forward definitely this is going for a breakdown, and I wouldn't be longing it. See, if a move comes in, this would be just purely on the basis of strength in Nifty, and until and unless that happens, till now I don't have the data which actually supports it. I really don't see it any going for further. Maybe it will again come towards the levels of 900 in Tata again. So Tata Consumer also 800 लेवल्स को ब्रीच की है. नाउ अगेन इट विल कंसोलिडेट फॉर 1 or 2 days, और फिर अगर वो 880 को ब्रीच करती है, 780 को ब्रीच करती है, अगेन इट विल करेक्ट मोर टुवर्ड्स 750. Tata Motors is also nicely consolidating, but in general we would be this is a nice structure. It's just that अभी तक कोई ऐसी पोजीशंस बनी नहीं है जिसमें हमें कुछ हिंट मिले. टाटा पावर, वी हैव बीन टॉकिंग अबाउट हाउ द लेवल्स ऑफ 234, एंड दिस वाज डिस्कस्ड ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर डे ऑन द नाइट ऑफ 19th of October. We discussed that 234 will be achievable, and this was achieved in the very next day within the first 15-20 minutes, because I booked out all my positions which I created on that day. And again 234 is acting like a very good resistance for now. जब तक ये 234-240 इस जोन को ब्रीच करके एक मूव नहीं देती है, so there is nothing we can expect. But in general I can say that it seems like it will be able to hold this levels of 220-230 ये जो zone है. Maybe this is going to act like a good support, but in general I think 200 can be a good psychological support zone. So there is nothing much of we can do over here. Tata Steel also is more 1400 के ऊपर एक अच्छी move दी थी, and this is also the same structure we saw with Jsw Steel and Tata Steel. ये 5 दिन पहले बहुत अच्छी एक move दी थी, and this is exactly where it seemed like it's going to move further. But of course, when you are actually breaching, we discussed 1400 is going to be a tough resistance, and this is exactly what has happened. We expected it to reverse from these zones, but unfortunately with the weakness in Nifty, it was unable to, and now it's again corrected towards 1280. So we are just waiting for some confirmation. In general, agar Tata Steel 1200 tak aayi, so it should be able to get some support. TCS also, we created our positions on these particular days, and then we took the dividend, and after the dividend it actually went towards 3690 levels, and from there it's now correcting. So maybe going forward, there is absolutely nothing we can say for this particular script. Definitely it's in a downturn. 3400 can be seen from here. Compared to that, Tech Mahindra seems like a very good structure, and the reason is Tech Mahindra is going to post this result in the next week, so people are still very much waiting and holding their positions. In general, I think 1400 should be a very 1400 अगर ये 1500 को breach करती है, then definitely 1400 easily आ जाएगी, and even 1350. Titan, fantastic move is coming, and you can see it's just trying to consolidate 2500 के ऊपर, and especially जब तक ये 2600 के ऊपर नहीं जाती है, there is absolutely nothing more we can do. From the looks of it, it seems like it's trying to enter 2500, but it's unable to, and maybe going forward, अगर ये important जो zone है of 2350, अगर ये भी breach होती है, then going forward it can hugely correct. But given the sentiment of this particular sector, so we would be just waiting on the lines and try to see which way the market is trying to give us the hint. Torrent Pharma, we have been creating and taking a lot of trades. It was between 3200 and 3000. Now you can see it even is trying to breach this 3000 levels. I think 2900 में अगर आई, तो definitely I would be creating more positions in Torrent Pharma, and definitely going forward I expect Torrent Pharma to give again a move towards 3150 levels. Torrent Power also 500 के ऊपर एक अच्छी 540 तक गई थी, and this was, it made an all-time high, and now again it's correcting. I think it will try to get some support at 500, and this support is going to come in, and maybe again it will try to be in the box between the levels of 490 and 540. Trend भी एक बॉक्स में है 1200. It made an all-time high, and then again is correcting towards 1000. Let's see if it is able to get some support from 1000. TVS Motor, this is result के बाद एक अच्छी मूव आई. Let's see अगर ये 600 levels को hold कर पाती है, then maybe there's still some going forward. Still there is a hope. UBL, you can see 1700 was a very good target. It was achieved. And then a breakdown came in. Till then it has not been able to. 5 sessions हो गए हैं, ये 1700 के ऊपर क्लोजिंग नहीं दे पा रही है. जब तक ये नहीं आती है, then it can automatically, अगर ये 1700 में जाके फिर इसको sell off आई, it will automatically correct towards levels of 1550. Ultra came also after the result, even with all this positive analysis and commentary, it was still 7500 is a huge resistance, and now it's correcting towards 7000. The reason is pretty simple. The the cement sector is not working, and so in general, with the huge amount of inflation and the huge amount of the headwinds which these companies are facing, in general you can't expect anything good happening in the short term. Of course you can buy and hold, and definitely going forward you can make profit, but my strategy is pretty simple. I have limited funds. We are retailers, as a result of which I want to deploy my funds only in momentum trades, because that's what I do. I always try to play the momentum. I really don't see any value, and I mean, of course I am also an investor, but of course Ultrachem is not worth investing at 7000 levels for me. UPL is more also in a box. Vedanta, good move came in, and yes, again breakdown came in, and this is very typical. Vedanta is going to post this result, and I think ये फिर 3300 में आके इसको support मिलेगी, is going to possess this results in the next week. Voltas, nicely consolidation के बाद it made an all-time high, and from there was an immediate correction, and you can see even 1200 got breached. So going forward, वी हैव टू सी अगर ये फिर 1200 के ऊपर क्लोजिंग दे पाती है, एंड स्पेशली ये अगर 1240-50 के ऊपर अगर जाती है, देन ओनली देयर इज सम चांस ऑफ रिवाइवल. विप्रो लोअर लोस लोअर हाइज, फैंटास्टिक स्ट्रक्चर. 700 के ऊपर अगर क्लोजिंग आई, देन इट विल बी एबल टू मूव. यू कैन सी दैट देयर वाज अ गैप बिटवीन द लेवल्स ऑफ 675, और ये शायद जस्ट अभी क्लोज हो रही है, वेरी नियर टू इट. सो गोइंग फॉरवर्ड डेफिनेटली हमारा 750 का टारगेट फॉर द शॉर्ट टू मीडियम टर्म इज स्टिल एक्टिव, एंड मे बी 780 or 770 can be achieved. And last but not least is Zeal. So Zeal is trying to get some support at 300. It's been moving around over here. On this particular day, we discussed how a good move is going to come, and that's exactly what happened, because we saw some positions getting added. After that, we have not seen any positions getting added, and now it's just lingering between the levels of 340 and 300. So that's all, folks. Thanks a lot for listening. Hope this video is going to give you some idea of how I'm thinking. In general, the market has no positions have been carried over the weekend, which can actually give us some hints about the next move. The only thing which I can say right now is let's wait for the Monday, and by 10:30 I would absolutely have an idea if positions are getting added and where it's getting added. If I get the time, definitely I will tweet about it, so make sure you follow my Twitter handle, and then you can get the trades which I would be interested in. Thanks a lot for listening. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.